Welcome back. It
Welcome
is
back, y'all.
week 5, y'all. You know what we do? We drop gems, man.
Baby, we dropping gems. You know how the game go. My name is Mancito Telfort,
I'm Ian Chambers.
and we are here dropping gems. We tuned in with you
Exactly.
guys. Y'all tuned in with us. Hope y'all been enjoying. And if y'all haven't, y'all need to go back and pay attention because y'all supposed to be enjoying this because that's how this goes. You feel me? I'm just playing. I'm just playing. We know that y'all is enjoying because y'all still here after week 5. You here
Right.
after week 5. You here after week 4. What week is it? 5.
Week 5.
Week 5. You know what I'm trying to say. If you still here today, we want to tell you we love you. You know, it's a beautiful thing.
Definitely.
Today's episode is brought by Mr. Easton Harrison. You know, he's running for C1. You know, I personally got to meet him. I like him. I feel like he's a cool guy. Lauderdale Lakes. If you're in the Lauderdale Lakes area, go check him out.
Definitely.
I didn't tell you who to vote for. I just told you go check him out.
Right.
Be informed.
Right.
Google people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We got Spiritual Core TV.
You already know.
Yeah, you know, we got CME, you know, Corporate Music Executives. And
Exactly.
we are here with another banger, another situation. And we want to let you guys in on the topic today.
Big facts. Yep.
What's the topic, broski?
The topic for today, I think I'm going to love this, right? We're going to talk about how do you know that someone is the one in their relationship, right? We're going to talk about the do's and don'ts of relationships, red flags that you should ignore in relationships. We gonna break down some, relationships and stuff like that. So yeah, I hope y'all ready.
Right.
You know, today's episode is also brought to you by Jamaica. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways,
we didn't plan this. Easton is Jamaican. That's crazy, right?
Right.
That's crazy.
God just works in mysterious
God
ways.
do
He doesn't
be
work on
working, bro.
coincidences.
He don't, bro. He don't.
But yeah, we'll get right into it. So, how you started off? How you know that somebody's the one for you?
I know how somebody's not the one.
Woo!
You know,
let's talk about it.
Feel me? I was married at one point in time. You know, me and her we're cool now. So if you watching, you my G. You feel me? We have a great relationship as it relates to our child and stuff like that. But I could tell you how someone is not the one. I can't really say. I don't want to say I can't say, but I would say that I haven't. I would have to be gleaning from those who have found the one and kind of like regurgitating what they gave.
Okay.
Because, I guess I'm still looking. Technically, I ain't looking, but I am looking. Like, I'm not looking. Like, I'm not like.
So if you single, I'm kidding.
You feel me? Like,
ladies out there, if you single, my boy.
you could go sit down. I'm just playing. Take a ticket. I'm just playing. It's a joke. It's a joke, right? It's a joke. Ain't nobody laughing. Y'all laughing with me, dog? They probably ain't laughing, right? Probably started disrespect. It was a joke, y'all. But I would say that I'm not in that active pursuit. Mm-hmm. Like, like, hey, I'm out here hunting. It's not like that. It's more like, if it happens, it happens.
Right.
Because for me, I ran into quite a bit of issues. I could tell you some red flags. Like a red flag that I learned is does the person have the ability to forgive? And not even forgive me, but more in the sense of, did they forgive their past?
Right.
And they don't speak super vile or let you know like they have some sort of harbored hatred for their past.
Right.
Which just means that this is unprocessed trauma.
Right.
That needs to be processed.
Exactly.
Before you come here.
Exactly.
Because I may be punished for the sins of another person.
Right.
You ever experienced that?
I have.
I feel like
I have.
If she talked to Brad did something, but now you in trouble.
Right.
But you ain't Brad though.
Exactly.
Your name is Ian.
Exactly.
Like, bro, what are you doing? So I feel like that's something, because if someone has that, I guess, capacity to hate that hard or have that deep of resentment, then it will be almost like a blockage to the love that God would want me to have.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And it's vice versa. If I got me some forgiveness issues and I ain't forgive my past, run.
Right.
Baby, run.
Yeah, no, honestly. I mean, I feel like forgiveness is not even for the other person, it's for yourself. True. Because literally you're stopping the blessing that God can give you because of the fact that you're still harboring unforgiveness. Mm-hmm. And literally, like, you're stopping the love channel that God can use through you, through another person, because you're still harboring that unforgiveness inside of you. Right. And a lot of times we like to hold on to things, right? But there's a saying, this might be cliche, let go, let God,
Mm.
right? Sometimes we have to learn to let go, because if you don't let go, God, you're literally stopping God from doing what he needs to do, because you're still holding on to something. God's like, let go.
True.
I got something better.
True.
And forgiveness is really big, honestly. I think forgiveness, you know, or lack thereof, being destitute of forgiveness is literally like can be a detriment.
Right.
Because like you said, you're allowing someone to portray, you're portraying or bring on the character or the hurt, the trauma of someone else onto this new person. And I think that like that's just completely wrong and messed up.
Right.
And
But they don't really do it. They really don't do it on purpose.
no, I mean, of course, it's not. It's a subconscious thing.
Right.
But at the end of the day, that's where I feel like you have to be able to work on your trauma, work on your baggage. And I tell people like this: like, life is like an airport, right? When you go to an airport, you hardly find someone who does not have any type of baggage with them.
Right.
Unless someone's holding it for them while they go to the bathroom to ask a question or something like that. But if you're traveling, you have at least one bag with you. Mm-hmm. And the way relationships work, right? A lot of people say, "Oh, I gotta let go of my baggage" or stuff like that. At some point, right, there's a thing called baggage claim. You cannot go on a flight without going through the whole baggage claim, or a baggage check. Because as soon as you go into the airport, they have to scan you, not scan, but they have to weigh your bag and stuff like that. You have to weigh your baggage. You have to literally be able to understand what it is that you are carrying, right? You have to be able to deal with it before you can even enter the flight of a relationship. Mm. And a lot of times, we're trying to enter relationships without even weighing the baggage.
Right.
Can I handle this?
Right.
Because I'm still holding on to whatever it is. And the thing is, sometimes you can't even go on a plane because your baggage is overweight. Mm. And sometimes you're literally overweighing, right? Your baggage overweighs rather you from actually being able to be in a healthy, godly relationship.
Right. It's almost like it negates you the access to board the vehicle to the next level, like a plane.
Exactly. Yeah. And not just that, right? Not just that. Literally, we all have baggage. Right. Because if you're traveling, you're gonna have baggage. Yeah.
But we're human, right?
Exactly. Right. We're human. God created us, right? And we're not perfect unto the day of completion, according to the Word of God. So there's no point in trying to be perfect and trying to completely eradicate or erase the damage, because it's always going to be there, or the baggage rather, right? You can have baggage, but you can still be able to enjoy life, right? Mm-hmm. And life comes with baggage, but the best thing about traveling with someone, you may have 2 pieces of luggage, I may have my 3 pieces of luggage, but the thing is, when we come together, we help each other carry the baggage. And especially when God's in the mix, now you literally have a beautiful picture, or a beautiful what's the word I'm looking for? God help me, speak through me. You have a better understanding, and you have a better model. There we go, right? Because Jesus is our model, and when we follow him literally, and you put him first in the relationship, that is beautiful, right? And honestly, you want to know that someone's not the one? They don't know God.
Sure, yeah, for sure. You gotta run from that.
Exactly. Like, I'm talking about Usain Bolt. They don't know God. Right. What's the point of me even entering a relationship? Like you said, run. I'm talking about like Usain Bolt.
You gotta
since I'm in Jamaica.
That's facts.
Facts. How to represent. You feel me? While I go on all Jamaicans all over the place,
right.
Yeah. But
I mean, this is a Jamaican moment. I have no problem because we, the Caribbean, we're connected. I'm Haitian and he's Jamaican. You see, they said if you bring the 2 islands together,
greatness can happen.
Revolution, baby.
I'm trying to tell you.
I know what this is.
I'm trying to tell you.
But Usain Bolt run.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Right. But on the real though, right? Literally, if someone doesn't know God, there's no point in one. The Bible literally tells not to be equally yoked. Right. And let's step away from romantic. It could be business. It could be friendship. Literally, the Word of God tells not to be unequally yoked, meaning that if we're not on the same page, we don't have the same values, the same mindsets. And I'm not saying that literally you have to have everything in common, right? You can have differences, but if you're not have the same values, the same mindset, the same faith, it won't work. Right. And I am like literally, I've been there, done that. I've tried to talk to girls that either doesn't know God or is not into God as much as I am. We're not on the same,
Yeah.
level when it comes to the faith.
Yeah, me too. Hard
I've,
times.
right. I've
Hard
spoken to
times.
girls or dated girls that's like on, different religions. Not religion. They're Christians, but like 7-day events and stuff. I'm telling you, it just does not work.
I'm like different
And
denominations.
yeah, different denominations.
I
I
don't
said
know.
religion.
I think it depends on their relationship with God. It depends on if the denomination is like a certain way, I guess. Because if they like, do they believe in Jesus Christ?
But the thing is, so
Like,
for example, right? So like, and I'm not knocking any 7-day Adventists. Like,
right.
I'm cool with them and stuff. But the reason why I feel as if, as a Christian, who goes to church on Sunday, it wouldn't work is because one, they go to church on Saturday, we go to church on Sunday. That's already a conflict.
Right.
So if you're gonna have a kid at some point, the mom is going to church on Saturday, the dad's going to church on Sunday. It's like at some point, what's the cycle? And it's like, as the man, we're supposed to be the leader. If we're talking about a God relationship, we're supposed to be the leader and set the tone and stuff like that.
Okay.
So,
see,
it's
getting spicy. Y'all see that? That's what I'm saying. It get different right here. This where it starts to. These them questions y'all need to be asking when y'all out there, because
I'm trying to
you
tell
have
you.
one way, you have one idea. You be like, oh, I want to raise my kids gently. They could do whatever. They could paint color on the walls. It's all like, nah, you tripping. Like, we not doing that.
Exactly. And literally, because there are certain things that they believe that we don't believe, and vice versa, and stuff like that. So those little discrepancies literally can go a long way. They may be minuscule, but it can actually play a big factor at the end. And stuff like that. So
But what if y'all both went to church Saturday and Sunday?
I mean, that's up to the two people, stuff like that. But me personally,
that's the power of compromise, right?
Right. But the thing is,
but you don't always have to compromise,
right? Are you willing to? But the thing is, are you willing to compromise your faith? For just to make a relationship work?
So are they not? That's a question. Are 7-day Adventists not saved? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying they're not saved.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying they're not saved.
Nobody. We just asked.
I'm just saying that. That what they believe is slightly different from what we believe.
Okay.
So therefore, you're still that your faith is still being put in the mix or in the middle of like.
Okay. So you're trying to say like
there's not a balance. It's like on a seesaw.
Doctrinal things may be different, and you're basically saying that you should find out if the doctrinal differences can be dealt with so that there's still harmony in so many ways. Okay, I see what you mean.
Exactly. Like,
so not like salvation faith. What you mean, like, will this cause arguing where you're not focused on stuff because you're fighting about this or fighting about that or whatever?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I get what you mean. No, we just had to clarify for the.
No, of course.
Before y'all give us some emails talk about y'all don't love people.
No, we love everybody, and like I said, I can definitely be friends. I can enter into a business or anything like that, with someone that is 7-day Adventist or anything like that. Like even if you are in like Buddhist faith or whatever the case may be or whatever. Well,
come on, mama, 7-day Adventist. That's why I was asking a question.
Okay,
she cool though. We love you, mama.
Of course, definitely. But it like, yes, faith matters, but at the end of the day, like the Bible tells us not to be unequally yoked. So especially when it comes to a romantic relationship, like me personally, I date to marry. I'm not gonna date you or like officially actually be my girlfriend if I don't actually see myself marrying you, and stuff like that. Like that's the way I'm going about things now. So therefore, I'm gonna make sure in that talking stage that things are actually lining up, for that I can see the potential and we are on the same page about things.
Right.
Right.
Like I'm gonna chime in on something.
Go ahead, of course.
Like for me, like I didn't listen to God. God told me not to date the whole year, right? And I was like, what you mean by dating? He was like, what I call dating, which means getting a girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Like a girlfriend, y'all. And I didn't listen, and I ran into quite some issues for not listening. So first and foremost, see if God has you in that season to even be looking. You know what I'm saying? He told me not for a year. Now I'm trying to, get back right. Hopefully, like I know some people say delayed obedience is still disobedience.
Right.
But then we have a book of Job where the Lord has grace.
Of course.
He puts you back on track because you could be late. Because Jonah technically should have did what he ended up doing earlier, but there was still this window of opportunity. And that's all I'm trying to say. If you feel like you messed up somewhere, repent and see what the Lord do for you. Exactly. But I just had to bring that. Like, first, find out if God even.
Right, because there's a season for everything.
Yeah.
I was in a season where God told me to put relationships down because He needed to work on me. Because as
work
biblically,
on yourself.
Exactly, biblically,
please work on yourself.
Right, and God had to do some things in me because like I said, if I'm going to be dating to marry, that means I need to prepare myself to be a husband.
Amen.
Because I'm looking for a wife.
Amen.
I can't ask God for a wife, and I don't have husband qualities.
Ooh.
So, and hold on.
Did you hear what you just said?
I heard. I can't be asking for a wife if I don't have husband qualities.
So women,
ladies, you cannot be asking for a husband if you don't have wife qualities. It works both ways.
I want to ask a question.
What's up?
It might start something. It's for the ladies and the men. Because technically you did it, but do you think that some women may think that they are wives, but they actually have concubine mentalities?
I do. And I'm not trying to disrespect anyone. Like honestly. It's very rare.
It goes with what we're talking about, being prepared the right way.
So
if you want to be a wife, but you don't want to submit, maybe you shouldn't be a wife. You should stay single.
But it's very rare a woman. Right? I'm not. You're not wrong with 100%.
Like just be single. Don't argue with the man. Just don't get a man. Stay out the game if that's not what you want to do.
So
if there's biblical stuff that you don't want to do to be in this relationship, if you not trying to lead her, like for real, you ain't trying to do nothing spiritual.
What did Paul say? Paul literally tells us to be single, and if you can't handle if
you don't desire, bro,
right? If you don't have that as well, one, you can have a desire of something, right?
But at least desire is a good place to start.
Exactly. Yeah. But at the same time,
you ain't trying.
But at the same time, you have to make sure you're prepared. It's like you have a test coming up, right? And if you don't study and put the work in to understand the material, right, you're going to fail.
True.
Right? It's just like with a relationship. If you don't prepare yourself and you put in the work, right, how can you go into marriage? Right? And
that's real.
With what you said, the question, right? And I'm not trying to start anything
here.
You're
not, bro. This is about preparation.
Exactly. But the thing is, a lot of times, women, right? It's very rare you'll find a woman say that I'm the problem. Especially in you'll talk to a girl and you'll be it's something new. You're talking about the relationship or whatever, and she'll be like, I was actually the problem, or this is where I messed up. It's very rare. The majority of the time, a woman will, when they reflect on their past relationship, they'll always say, it's the guy. Majority, not always, majority. It's very rare. Right. And the thing is,
true.
A lot of sometimes a woman will be like, how come I can't get a good man? And it's like, but at the same time, are you even a good woman? True. Because a man that is walking in husband quality is going to automatically be able to recognize a wife. Because the thing is, I'm not here to make you a wife. You're already supposed to be one. My job is to make you my wife. Boom. So if you're not giving me wife qualities or wife energy, why am I going to look your way? Because that's going to be a waste of my time, which is another red flag. True. Inconsistency.
And you know what?
Oh, go ahead.
There's for the ladies, like we're not telling you like on the first date you got to be cooking and all that good stuff.
No, of course not. Of course not.
Like heart posture wise, it's almost like sowing, right? You reap what you sow.
Exactly.
Like, if you have a mindset that you want to take care of this man, then you're basically putting yourself in a position to be a wife, because it says that Eve was created to be
a helpmate,
suitable helpmate. So that means that you're supposed to be able to nurture and help.
Right, but
this specific guy.
Key word, what you said, suitable.
Suitable.
A lot of times a woman, speak to me, Holy Spirit, a lot of times a woman will want a man, right? But you're not suitable for that man. Or that man's not suitable for you. And you're trying to force yourself to be suitable for him. Or you're trying to force him to be suitable for you.
True.
Literally, God has somebody. I don't know who I'm speaking to. I don't know who this is for.
Somebody.
Listen, God has somebody for you. I don't know who it may be, right? But whether you're a female or whether you're a male, God has someone for you. Someone that is suitable for you. Someone that you can grow with. Someone that you can rise with. Someone that you can literally have godly conversations with, pray with. Someone that will love you, understand you, cherish you. Someone that you can be proud to call yours, right?
Amen.
But at the end of the day, you have to work on you.
Yes.
You have to make sure that you are prepared, because my whole thing was by 25 I should be married, I should have kids, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I am 27 years old. I'm not married. There's no ring on this finger and whatnot. But it's okay, because I had to give up my plan, and I had to rip my list up. Oh, this is what I want and stuff like that. And I had to literally submit to God. God, I want to get married. And I also what I did to prepare for myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got
What are you
mentors.
consistently doing?
I got mentors.
Right.
I people that are married, so they can pour into me and teach me what marriage is like. That's number one.
And your divorce homie teach you what not to do for you and what not to choose.
That too, right? Not just that, I started reading books about relationships,
True.
right? Godly relationships, not just relationships in general, but actually a godly relationship, right? And everything. And I also watched YouTube, like Christian men or Christian couples talking about relationships and how a godly relationship should be, and even sermons about it and stuff like that.
Right.
And the thing is, if you want to be in a relationship, right, you want to know, if you want to know how someone's not the one for you, one, you need to set a target. A lot of times we're living life aimlessly, and right, you need to have exactly, right. And if there's no vision, you literally run around into folly.
Yeah.
Proverbs talks about that, right? Where there's no vision, the people perish.
Amen.
And the Bible literally tells us to write the vision down, make it plain. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2. And the thing is, you need to have a target. What are you aiming at? Because if you have no aim, you literally run into anything and you will accept anything. That was me. So I need to have a target of what type of woman do I want in my life? What type of woman do I think it will be suitable for me? Where am I going in life? Especially if I'm going to say I'm preaching and I'm doing this and that, I need a woman that can help me and be able to be by my side and be able to handle that, right? And not every woman can. So my thing is, you have to find someone that can be a balance with you, right? A relationship should not be overpowered. Just because you're a man and you're supposed to take the lead doesn't mean that you're in charge or you're in control of her.
No.
Right? It's a balance. Right? You're supposed to be helpmates to help each other.
True.
Right? The two of you are supposed to pour into each other.
True.
Right? Your woman you're not a CEO and she's just a janitor and no.
Yeah.
The two of you are supposed to be equal, and everything like that. Well, sorry. The man, yes, is the head, but at the end of the day, right? She's not this down here
She's not
peasant.
inferior to you.
Exactly.
Right. And another thing, God made, especially with how things are today, if we apply the principle of the man being the leader and her being a helpmate, it may also be that the man needs to create an environment for her to flourish in, so that she can help him in other suitable ways.
Right.
Because it could be like she may have to be out there getting money. This whole thing. I ain't gonna get all the way into it. This whole 50-50, 70-30.
Bro,
hey, that's your business, bro. And I'm not gonna argue with you. If you want a man that pay all the bills, find him. Dude, if you want a girl that go 50-50, find him. Don't argue with him. If she don't, I wouldn't argue with you. Just say, okay, you're not for me. That's not my value. Y'all just we need to stop trying to force people to do what we want them to do instead of just align with people who already want to do what you want to do.
Right.
It's easier that way when y'all
but
just
at the end of the day, sometimes what we think we want is not what we actually need. Right. And you actually need to submit to God. What you want, submit it to God and see what God says.
Create that environment, guys. Make that space.
Right. As a man,
you know what? Not to cut my brother off. Biblically, if you really think about it, God made Adam first, right?
Right.
And then he had like a job he was doing. It was gardening. He was doing this stuff. And then God gave him rest. God gave this revelation recently. It's like when you're in their state of rest, God can pull things out of you, right? And that's how he was able to pull out Eve.
Right.
If you think about it, he was in a state of rest. God made him sleep, put him in a state of rest, pulled Eve out of him. But there was an environment for her to already be able to flourish in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's a space. Not saying that he got to be balling and rich, but I'm just saying there's a space for her to actually help. There's a space for her to grow in. Her becoming better for herself and the kids, if you create this space, the opportunity for her, what will help you in the long run, because she learned different ways to control herself. You learn different ways to control yourself. When y'all argue, y'all don't hit below the belt no more, because y'all was able to have this space, this environment, almost like this Eden like place to grow. If we want to tie it in, the fruit of the spirit in y'all relationship. You gotta create the environment, baby.
And not just that, as a man, you need to create a safe space for your woman to be, like you said, to be able to flourish.
Right.
If you want a woman to fully tap into her femininity, right, especially in today's day and age, right, in this dating pool.
What did that even mean these days?
What?
Like, girls be saying they masculine. It's like, but you read Proverbs 31, and like, she was a whole businesswoman that woke up early in the morning, got that bread. She was basically in real estate because she bought a field. She sold. If it was today, she'll probably be e-commerce, digital marketing. You know what I'm saying? She probably had a couple stocks, and she was considered a woman. But today, that same type of woman would be considered masculine. I don't know. That's just weird to me.
No,
but go ahead, bro.
Honestly, I think a woman like that is immaculate. I feel like a woman like that got her mind, got her head on her body, knows what she wants out of life, and knows her worth. She's going to not accept anything less than that.
Yeah, that don't make her masculine. That makes her I just want to say this to the women. I find it very disrespectful to y'all to say that you had to act like a man to become successful. Is to say that being a woman equals unsuccessful. That's cap, bro. Being a whole woman, you can be successful. You didn't take on manly traits. You probably just got mean or something, or whatever you call masculine or whatever. But you didn't really need to do that, because then that's like saying you have to become less of yourself to become something greater.
Nah, because at the end of the day, God can do something
the
great
devil,
through you.
bro.
Look at David. David fought Goliath at like 12 years old.
I think he was like 17. I don't know. Whatever.
He was young.
One of them numbers.
Right? He wasn't even a full adult. And at the end of the day, he still was able to defeat Goliath and slay a whole giant, right? At his young age and at his height. So you don't need to be something else in order for God to do great things through you.
True.
Right? But what I was saying was, as a man, we had to create that safe space.
What we do?
Right? If you want a woman to be able to truly be herself and be able to be in that woman energy, right? You have to create that safe space for her to be that. Because a lot of times as men, we don't allow a woman to actually walk as a woman, because nowadays women feel like they have to be a woman and a man because of how we have let them down time and time again, and drastically. So
I think some of them let themselves down too, because we ain't gonna bash dudes like that.
No, I'm not. Listen, I'm not here to bash anybody.
I'm just saying, like, some ladies don't create the space neither. So really, it's a
two-way street.
It's a two-way street, because I have my homie, bro. He say it all the time. You know, you hear stuff like "happy wife, happy life." That's the devil, bro. My homie, Glenn, we gonna get him on here soon. Happy spouse, happy house. I mean, that's the first time I heard it. It probably was coined some other place, but that's where I heard it at. Happy spouse, happy house. So that means that the 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 focus is on both parties doing what they need to do.
Right?
Y'all, it's a both party thing.
And the thing is,
both.
So I want to interject on that, because the thing is, since you want to mention happy spouse, right? First of all, the spouse has to be happy by themselves, number one, right? And the other spouse has to add to your happiness, right? I'm not here to make any woman happy. You have to be happy through God on your own time, right? By yourself. And we add to each other's happiness. The same thing for me. I have to be able to be happy, with God, by myself, in my own corner, and everything like that. And the best way, if you really want to find someone for you, walk in your purpose.
Facts.
Walk in your purpose.
Because Adam was in his purpose.
Right. Like literally doing what God has called you to do. Right. Staying out the way, doing what God has called you to do.
If you know your purpose.
Exactly.
If you don't know, you need to find out what it is.
And that's the only way you can do this through God. But literally, you have to allow God to use you, right? So you're walking your purpose, doing your thing. God can easily be like, look to the left, look to the right. That's the person for you, right? And a lot of times we go searching, right, and everything. And yes, it is our job as a man to find But at the end of the day, whatever is for you, God will allow it to come to you.
Yeah.
And everything.
Be careful though, because I was chilling, minding my business, and I've had situations where you ain't even go out for them; they went out for you. So be careful for that.
Right.
So basically, find needs to all like in that term find. It's not really per se locate, but better to say identify.
Right.
Identify. But when we're able to properly identify, which is a more of a discernment, like space, then when the opportunity comes, because like it's like the promised land, right? The promised land had to be conquered, so that means that there was enemies in the space of the promised land, so they had to go and take it. So what I'm bringing up is that when God sends you this person or God gives you the okay, we need to know that the enemy is going to be sending something around too. He's not going to sit there. Yeah, he's not going to sit there and just.
Right, of course.
And sometimes it's not one counterfeit. You may get 100 of them.
Before
so you got to be able to be like,
move,
look, nah, leave me alone. I can't talk to you, girl.
Right.
It's show lane too.
And we're gonna get into more red flags and how you can tell if someone's a counterfeit and stuff like that too. But so speaking of that though, you're not responsible for what you attract, but you're responsible for what you entertain.
For what you pick, yes sir.
Right.
Because Jesus tracked everything. He tracked rich, poor, demon possessed people.
Right. So just because you attract something doesn't necessarily mean that it's good for you. Or you can attract something that's good for you, but just because it's good doesn't mean that it's God for you. But
that's deep though.
That
was hard though. That was hard.
Right. Thank you. Yeah. Another way to know that someone's not for you is they are inconsistent. They're too busy for you. They can't give you their time. They literally like inconsistency. Like one thing about me, I hate inconsistency. Like I'm a consistent person.
I be inconsistent sometimes. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I be struggling.
Like I need consistency in my friendships and everything.
He helped me with this area. I be nah, not bad like that. Cause I be consistent with stuff like music and all that stuff. Y'all check out them EPs. Go check it out. Go run it back. This flash. Shameless plug. But go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Right. Like I can't stand an inconsistent person. I'm sorry. It's a pet peeve of mine. Like
he probably be mad at me. I'm like, my boy be like, bro, I be coming there last minute stuff. Hey, bro, I just did it. He was like, I always believed in you. I was like, yeah, I hope you did. I hope you were praying for me. That was you.
I'm always praying for you, bro.
That would be like, bro.
Right. Like, I mean, fruit of the spirit is patience, so I gotta be patient.
True.
But
I'm getting better
though. You are. But for real though, like inconsistency is definitely a red flag.
Facts, bro.
Because that shows that they're not ready for something serious.
Right.
Right. And one thing about me, I'm consistent.
They may not. You know what? That's a better way to say it. They may not be ready. Because it's not a bad thing if they're not ready. That don't mean they're not bad. That they're bad people.
Right.
But
they're just not ready for.
They probably like something that I know God gave me for someone once was like, because of all the stuff that I had going on or trying to accomplish, like there was no space for her and the type of person she was.
Right.
Like you had to make room. You can't just squeeze her in your life. You feel me? That'd be disrespectful to her. So sometimes that's what it is. It's like God's trying to redirect you from somebody you may feel like is awesome, and they probably are awesome. Or it might not just be the season now for that particular person. If you feel like God gave you access, not access, okay now to go search, and that person's not even focused on that, because some people like they're not here to harm you. They just like, dang, for me to take this particular situation, like put it this way, if you're a queen or you're a king, you can't be fitting into the crevices of people's lives. You feel me? You need to have like a royal space. It can't even be like, okay, we got you a one room, little small. It look like a prison cell. Like, no, the room that's for this type of person may have to look like a ballroom. It got to be extravagant for this type of individual because the capacity that type of person has must like the room you make for them must be suffice. You can't just treat them any kind of way. You can't move with them any kind of way. You can't do anything with them. So if that person is too busy and they can't, create that space for that
Right.
person, then like that's a red flag. That's not like because they're evil. Like all red
Exactly.
flags don't mean that people evil,
Right. They just means that they may have some growing up to do, some maturing to do,
or they just don't have time for you, or they don't want you.
right.
That's
Because
not. They're not evil if they don't want you.
Honestly, if somebody wants you, they're gonna make the time.
Yeah.
Right. They won't be too busy.
Unless they feel like you're in conflict of their biggest goals or something. Maybe
Right.
you might be the red flag to them. I don't know.
But at the end of the day, if you're working on if you're working on whatever you're targeting and stuff like that, sometimes you're just not in that season for you to be dating, because sometimes, like I said, God wants you to walk in your purpose and stuff. But speaking of purpose, right? Another red flag that you should ignore, another way to know that someone's not the one, is literally they don't know where they're going in life, right? They're not engaged with their purpose, their destiny, and they're not engaged with God. Right. So if you don't know where you're going in life, you feel like you're at a standstill and you're just like going with the flow of life, that person's not the one for you. Right. Or if you're talking to someone, dating someone, like especially as a man, like for ladies, especially as a man, you should know your purpose, because you should be looking at us. Can he lead? Right. Can he guide me? Right. Can I actually follow him? Right. And what is he doing in with his purpose? Like, does he have qualities of a leader? Because why should I allow myself to submit to someone that can't even show me that you're worth submitting to? Right. That's what.
If don't submit if he don't submit to God.
Exactly.
I mean, y'all heard that 100 times.
And literally, if we break down submit, like I was actually talking to a friend not too long ago about this. Like literally, right? Submission means means under, right? So when you submit, you're saying that you're under God. Like submarine, you're underwater, and so on and so forth. Like, so literally, people, I'm telling you, if he can't, ladies rather, if he cannot submit himself and be under God and go to God for what he should do, and ask God how he should love you, right? How how to properly care for you, how to understand you, he's definitely not the one for you. Facts. And guys, if she can't submit to God, because she's supposed to be submitted to God too, number one, right? And have a relationship with God, don't waste your time.
Hold on. If she can't submit to God,
how can she submit to you?
How can she submit to the God in you?
Okay then, right?
She already ain't listening, so bro, you gonna have you an issue. Exactly. I've been there. Don't do it. Don't do it, bro. Don't do it. Because if she ain't trying to worry about God like that, and you are serving God, and it says what? The head of Christ is God, the head of man is Christ, and the head of woman is man, and the head of the kids is the women, and your head is Christ, which means this direct line of what God got going on. Right. And she's like, I ain't even gonna submit to her. Who you submitting to, then she's not gonna submit to you, because she ain't even submitting to who you submit to.
Right. And it's just like, if she can't love herself, how can she love you? Because first of all, you need to love God in order to love yourself. And once you love yourself, you can love others. Because the Bible talks about that agape love, right? And a lot of times people are looking for love, but looking for one in the wrong places, the wrong people, the wrong things, right? And number two, literally, that agape love is something real, it's something serious, and it does still exist. But at the same time, we have to understand that love is pure, right? And you should not, like, I think there's a saying that says, "Don't awaken love until it's ready."
Yep, Song of Solomon.
Exactly, right?
Y'all read that book? That book is wild.
I'm trying to tell you,
and it's in the Word.
Right? Don't awaken love until it's ready.
It was wild.
Literally, sometimes we awaken that love before it's ready, and that's how people get hurt.
Hey y'all, somebody came. We had a whole entire little mini conversation, and we don't have somebody to be like, go back to what to remember. So we were on red flags, and God give us the words.
Right. So yes. So you need someone that's going to be engaged in their destiny, their purpose, and with God. Like,
so you jump right on it, bro.
Right. Like you have to
consistent.
Right. You got to be. You're right. Like literally, because as a man, right? If I can't, if I don't have my purpose and I don't know God, right? How can I get to know someone else? And it's literally like God is love, right? So if I don't love God, I can't love myself and I can't love someone else. And it has to be in that order. Sometimes we try to love others, then love us, and love God. Like God is love, and literally God is the manufacturer of all of us. How can I love another person without knowing him? Because he's the one that can teach me how to love her, right? Well, because I'm a man, right? And for a lady, how can you love him without knowing the manufacturer of him? That's like having an iPhone and trying to take the Samsung to get it fixed, right? You may have the iPhone may have components of an Android, but it's not an Android, right? That's like me having a Toyota Camry, but me trying to take it to Nissan to get it fixed. Like, yes, we may have certain parts that are similar, but we're not the same. They're not the manufacturer, right? So literally, you need to go to God himself to teach you how to love him, love you, and love others. So we're not continuing to bring forth the hurt and hurting people, right? Adding more trauma into people's lives, and stop awakening love before it's ready. That's where we were. Right?
Awakening love before it's ready.
Exactly.
Hey, man. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, I done struggled in this area because you know what he was talking about in Book of Song of Solomon.
Right, same.
Talking about that stuff married people do.
Not even just that. I feel like
that's what he was talking about.
I feel
mostly.
like love bombing. I feel like
love bombing that's that narcissistic stuff.
Right, hitting like saying that I love you and stuff. But like, stop. Like, if you know you don't want the person, if you know you're not ready for love, don't awaken it before. Like, you know what? Just don't awaken it before it's too. Before
but they got the people who don't care, so they're gonna disregard. So,
but the thing is, if you don't care, leave people alone.
But they don't care, so they're not gonna listen. So this is the next thing. This is why you should identify red flags. Because if you could catch, like basically, God gave me something. God was like, He wanted me no longer to be like pointing the finger at her, or whatever. It's like, okay, when you take away pointing the finger, right? All of us, and we say, what could I control? I control, do they get into my space, right? So then that means that if I heighten my ability to properly identify what is worthy of my space, then we could leave all of those evil people that or evil or non-caring, evil, selfish, narcissistic, whatever you want to call that type of person or that group of people, they could stay on the outside and the right stuff could come in. But it's really gonna come with us like really, the boundaries, then all that good stuff that all the other podcasts will tell you about and all that good stuff. Right. You just if you don't leave with anything, leave with this. Pray that God gives you the ability to identify who, what needs to be in your life,
right, at the right time.
Yeah.
Hello.
What doesn't? I don't know if there's another point because we don't know. So we kind of just been going because this topic is a topic. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.